Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and we're once again going to be taking a look at the map of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores, which yes, this map has been updated by Dead Dying Retail just under 15 minutes ago. As of Monday, December 12th, 2022. So with the announcement, with the closure of the Sears and Roebuck store, the last one-level full-line Sears department store that is not 2 or more levels, located at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland, that just announced its closing. We are now down to 8 Kmart stores, well, 7.5 if you count Miami Candle Lakes, and 12 Sears and Roebuck stores. Combine both numbers together, and you get approximately 20 to 21 non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. I just have to do that count real quick. But I believe it is a total of 19 that is closing, the number of stores that are actually closing. So yeah, this is the list, and this is the map of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So let's go over the list of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So we have about 7.5 Kmarts left, 8 Kmarts, 12 Sears stores. You do 7 plus 12, it's about 19.5 stores left. So let's start out. So yeah, 7.5 Kmarts, because Candle Lakes is being divided, or is going to be divided pretty soon. But I guess for the sake of this video, I don't know exactly the number, but I think for the sake of this video, we will consider it to be 8. So we'll put 20 just again for the purposes and the sake of this video. So let's go over the list of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So let's get started. So Kmart, mainland continental United States, we have the Kmart store at the Candle Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Candle Lakes, Miami, Florida. Then the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey is required to be closed on Sundays because of the Bergen County laws that prevent this retailer from opening and operating, and because all Bergen County municipalities prevent all non-essential retailers from operating on Sundays. And finally, the only other Kmart store on mainland United States, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. So Kmart off mainland continental United States, we only have about 4 of them left. We have the Kmart store in Tolman, Guam, the Kmart store at the Sunshine Mall in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands, and finally the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands, which that one is the last multi-level Kmart in the fleet. So Sears, continental mainland United States, we only have a handful, only about a dozen, 2 dozen stores left of Sears that are not liquidating. So we have the Sears at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California, the Sears store at the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California, the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California, the freestanding Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida, the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, finally the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So with the closure of the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland, basically the rest of these stores are all single stores by states. So we have the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts, the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey, the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tuckaloosa, Washington State, and finally the Sears off mainland continental United States. We have the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So these are the closing stores. So this upcoming Sunday, which is Sunday, December 18th of 2022, we have 2 Sears stores shutting down, and it's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California, and the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. And liquidating store closing February of 2023, it's the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland. So let's go over the map of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores created by Dead and Dying Retail. So we're going to go from west to east on the map. So the first store that we're going to start out with, it's the Kmart store in Tolman, Guam, near the Antonio B. Juan International Airport. This is one of one of five, one of five Kmarts that are not in the United States of America. And again, it's the Kmart store in Tolming, Guam. And I also believe, too, a little side note, I think this has a Kmart pharmacy as well as a Little Caesars, Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. No Kmart pharmacy, by the way, just a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart store. Okay, and as we make our way across the Pacific Ocean, the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington State, a few miles east of the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. This is the last full-line Sears department store within the state of Washington, and as well as being the last Sears store at a Westfield property. And the last Sears store in the greater Seattle metropolitan area. And once the store closes, Sears will be no more in Washington State. And no more Transform Co. stores operating in Washington State either. Okay, and as we make our way down the Pacific coast of the United States, the next Sears store that we're going to hit is in the greater Bay Area of San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento, and San Rosa. Sacramento, by the way, is the capital of California. We have the Sears store in Concord, and it's at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. Again, this is only one of two Sears department stores left within the greater Bay Area, and only one of 24 in the entire country that is not being liquidated. So again, it's the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. Okay, and as we make our way over to east to this area, we have the Sears store at the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California. So one of two Sears stores still left in the greater Bay Area. And again, it's the Sears store at the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California. All right, and as we make our way down the Pacific Coast, the next Sears store that we're going to hit that's not being liquidated in the greater Los Angeles area, it's the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. This is the last Sears store in the greater Los Angeles area, and once the Sears store does close, there will be no more presence of Sears in the greater Los Angeles area. There's already no more presence of Kmart in California, so this will be the true end for the Transform Co. Story in the greater Los Angeles area. And again, it's the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. Okay, and as we make our way down the Sun Belt region of the United States, the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. Just a few miles south of the El Paso International Airport. This is the very last Sears store in the state of Texas. The only reason for this Sears store still remaining open, I think, is Sears Mexico. But I think time is running out for this location as well. The only way I see this location staying afloat is if Sears Mexico does actually come in and buy this location. And that would really honestly be the only presence of Sears left in the United States after that. But it's still hanging on for now. So again, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. All right, and we are going to make our way over to the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and then we're going to make our way up the East Coast. So, okay, and we're going to first start out with the U.S. Virgin Islands of St. Croix, and the first Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Mall of St. Croix in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. This Kmart store has a Kmart pharmacy, and in addition to a Kmart pharmacy, it also has a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. And again, it's the Kmart store at the Mall of St. Croix in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. Okay, and we go a couple miles east on the St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, because the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the, what is the name of this one? I don't remember. Oh, God, I'm having a brain fart right now. Oh, Sunny Isles Shopping Center, sorry. The Kmart store at the Sunny Isles Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. This does not have a Little Caesars, nor does this Kmart store have a Kmart pharmacy. So it's the Kmart store at the Sunny Isles Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. Okay, and as we get to the St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, It's the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. And that's basically it. And actually, no, that's not it. This is the last two-level Kmart store in the entire Kmart fleet. Once the store closes, there will be no more two-level Kmarts in existence in the United States and outside of the United States territories. Okay, and the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. This has a Kmart pharmacy as well as a Little Caesars Pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. And again, it's the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. Alrighty, so now we're going to make our way over to Puerto Rico. And the only store left that is operated by Transform Co. in Puerto Rico, it's the Sears store at the Plaza Las Americas Mall in Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The last Sears store within Puerto Rico. Apparently, this is like the best one in the fleet. Maybe Target could buy it or something, but who knows? So again, it's the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Alrighty, so now we're going to get to Florida because the next store that we're going to hit, it's going to be the Kmart store, and it's the Kmart store that's getting downsized significantly, and of course, it's the only Kmart store left in the state of Florida. It's the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. This is the last Kmart store within the state of Florida. Okay, and just a few miles east of that store, we have the freestanding Sears store that opened up in 1954, and it's the Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. It is a freestanding Sears store, and I believe it is the last freestanding Sears store within the state of Florida. So that's pretty significant. All right, and as we make our way up the Florida coast, the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. The last Sears store in the greater Miami-Dade area to be connected to a mall, and it's the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Alrighty, so now as we make our way into Florida, we get into Central Florida, part of Orlando, home to Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, whatever. But that's not why we're talking about that, because the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. This is the last Sears department store within the central region of Florida. Once the store goes, there will be no more presence of Sears in the Central Florida area. So again, it's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. All right, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. This is the last Sears store within the state of North Carolina, and pretty significant now because now the one in Maryland is closed, so this is like the last one in that whole Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia area, and it's the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, so we make our way up the East Coast, and with Francis Scott Key Mall now closing in 2023, that means the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey. This is the last Sears store within the New York City metropolitan area, the last Sears store within the state of New Jersey, and the last Transfer & Co. owned property within the New York City metropolitan area operating as a Sears. So lots of lasts, that's for sure. All right, so we're going to take a quick trip out to Long Island because the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. This is the last Kmart store within the state of New York, Now, you might be thinking, Chris, why is this called the Martha Stewart Kmart? Well, the reason why it's called the Martha Stewart Kmart was because Martha Stewart herself has a house out in the Hamptons, and I believe back in the day she used to make special appearances at this store. She has obviously signed on with Macy's since and makes appearances, I guess, at that Macy's out in the Hamptons. But she would sign like anything, any items that she sold in the store. She would have special appearances in this particular Kmart store. Probably also a big reason too why they brought a Kmart to Bridgehampton many years ago. I mean, a lot of it doesn't matter now. But to consider it still open, that's pretty significant, and it's obviously the last Kmart in the in the state of New York. Because after this goes, there will be no more Kmarts in New York. So again, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. All right, so we're going to now go ahead and boomerang back to my home state of New Jersey because we have one more store to hit before going into the New England region of the United States. And of course, it's the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey. This is the last Kmart store within the state of New Jersey, and now considering this is the last Kmart store to have a Kmart logo that is still operating in a Kmart store in it, because Kendall Lakes finally took their Kmart sign down, so this is a pretty significant store now. This store is required to be closed on Sundays because of this thing called Bergen County Blue laws that prevent all non-essential retailers from operating on Sundays. And in addition, this is the last Kmart store within the state of New Jersey, so yeah. And it's the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey. All right, so we get to our final store on the map, and that is the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. This is the last Sears store within the state of Massachusetts, the last Transform Co-owned property operating Sears or Kmart, and of course the last Sears store within the state of Massachusetts. So lots of lasts there as well. So anyways, guys, that's about going to do it for this video for the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. Should we see any more closings this week, there will be an update video following there will be an update video following this video a couple days or a day or maybe a few hours after that closing gets announced. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Link to both the map created by Denning Dyeing Retail as well as the list will be located in the video description below of this video. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.